Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Noelle and I review and unbox subscription boxes here on my channel, and today I have a wonderful monthly book box that has been sent to me for review. It is of course the Literary Book Club, which features classics. Sorry, everything's kind of rattling around in there because I took all of the shred out so that I could see all of the awesome items that came with this box. It is $64.99 plus $9.99 in shipping each month. There have been some changes over the last year or so in terms of the cadence. It went from quarterly to monthly, so now you get more. Currently, the latest change is that they're unable to do skips for you, but you can always just put yourself right back on the wait list if you decide that you need to take a month or two off, or if the titles don't appeal to you. I'm excited because she is starting to do a few more kind of newer, like more modern classics, if that's not too much of a oxymoron. For example, next month, or actually this month's box, is going to be 1984, so that should be pretty interesting. But I also love that she just does those classics that make you feel good, in terms of like having Emma, for one, which we got to use for our book club that we run here on the channel each quarter. So that was a fun book discussion that we had. We have one more for the year. I am just double checking with the book box that we are using for that, but if you're interested in joining us, please make sure that you are a part of the No Bot Nook, which is our private Facebook group that is associated with my channel. I will leave a link for that in the description box below, and I will also leave a link for the Literary Book Club, of course. I do have a code for you that'll save you $5 when that waitlist does open up. It's mauinoel. That'll save you $5, and it is an affiliate link, so it helps me out in terms of letting Katie and her team know that you saw the box here on my channel, and that is part of the reason that you decided to subscribe. So we also know what the next box is for October, to kind of go with the spooky vibes, but I'll let you go around and poke around on the site or on her Instagram as well. So for this month, or actually for last month, for August, I do like to read the books with this particular book subscription, because I feel like then the curation of the items that go with it often really complete the experience. I will say that this time around there were some items that were like obvious choices, made a ton of sense, loved them, and then there were some where I was like, oh, I wish that maybe there was a note about the passage or page number that had inspired this particular item, just because sometimes I didn't totally get the correlation, even though the items themselves were great, and she does do really high quality items from small businesses largely. So let me go ahead and get into the box. We get beautiful editions of these classics, which is one of the reasons this subscription is so great. It's not just like your average paperback. They're really beautiful, often hardcover. And for example, for this one, for Murder on the Links, we got a Chiltern edition, which I just look how these glow, and they do have some like embossing on them, so they are textured. We have the gilt edges, we have the ribbon bookmarker, nice thick glossy pages, really just feel like a good feeling in your hand. I also personally like the size of them. They're very small, compact, easy to take with you when you're reading. And also Agatha Christie, I had not read a ton of Agatha Christie. I mean, I know she's like the queen of mysteries, but I hadn't really read a lot of them. So it's been a joy to read the ones that have been selected and used for the Literary Book Club over the past few years. So this was a great one. Murder on the Links, of course, because the murder takes place on a golf course, essentially, or what's going to be a golf course. So I was kind of expecting some like golfy items. Not that I am a golf enthusiast or even fan. My sports are tennis and baseball these days. But I was expecting some golf things, and I don't think we really got any, but maybe you guys can help me with some of the correlations to some of the items in the box that went along with the book. So I did want to just read a little, not a synopsis of the mystery, because I don't want to give that away to you, but maybe just a little, like what would be like the blurb for it. So let's see. Okay. In Agatha Christie's The Murder on the Links, Hercule Poirot, because it is with our Belgian detective, rushes to France after an urgent plea for help, but arrives too late to save his client, Paul Renaud, who is found brutally stabbed to death on a golf course wearing an ill-fitting coat with a love letter inside. An ill-fitting coat was a love letter inside. So that tells you a lot, right? Probably not his coat. Who's the love letter from? The discovery of a second, identically murdered corpse complicates the case, forcing Poirot to use his little gray cells to uncover a complex web of blackmail, secrets, and a crime committed over 20 years in the past to identify the killer. That's actually a lot of good clues. There were definitely some twists and turns. There was some story that there's no way you could have guessed at it ahead of time until they sort of unraveled that bit for you. There's quite a fun cast of characters, honestly. You know, there's mysterious meetings on trains. There's another sort of antagonist. You know, Hercule Poirot is not like, he definitely has an ego. But then he has this antagonist, which is another investigator. What is his name? His name is Monsieur Giraud. Monsieur Giraud is also thinks very highly of himself, and the whole time, of course, that sort of interaction, that sort of head-to-head, well, this is how I do it, and this is how I do it in France, is very fun to watch. And then we, of course, have our narrator, which is from other things, Arthur Hastings. Yes, Arthur Hastings. And of course we have references to Inspector Japp, police inspector from Scotland, Hercule's friend. So there are a lot of characters as usual, and they are always very Frenchy. So, but I had fun reading it. But let's go ahead and look at the items that we got inside. So, as usual, there was an edible treat. So we always love that. It was this little, just like little nibbles is what Katie includes for us. So this is a salted maple pecan snack bar with just, protein from 3 grams of protein from nuts and seeds. So just like a little snacky snack, always nice, right? I don't know why salted maple pecan is necessarily, I couldn't think of any like food moments really in the book. Because in this case, because there's no page numbers where like you read through a certain chapter or get to a certain point to check the items in the box, I usually read the whole book and then go back and open the items. And so sometimes I may miss the actual pairings if there were any. But I don't remember any salted maple pecan in any way, shape, or form. I don't remember much food, honestly, but help me out. We did get a little bit of a swag bag, which is exciting, because there was some talk of swag bags not really happening anymore, but Katie has been spoiling us and still giving us a few. 2 people rarely see the same thing. Quote from Agatha Christie, lovely sticker. I do wish we'd get more of the stickers, actually, because I would love to use those, but we do get nice book plates that go inside to make sure that no one walks away with your gorgeous Chiltern edition. We also got this one that says, born to read, forced to work. Oh, so that's just a fun bookish sticker. So true. Man, if I didn't have to work and I could just read, that would be a beautiful life. And then look at this. So she does these big bookmarks, and this is, I think, maybe the first time where it's been a cutout on the top, and I love that. I think that's like dogwood. I'm not super, like, unless it's a flower from Hawaii, I'm not super good on flora and fauna. Well, fauna, but flora. The true work, it is done from within. The little gray cells. Remember always the little gray cells, mon ami. So yes, Agatha Christie, but of course it is the classic Hercule Poirot. Just saying, use the brain, use your brain. And I love how he's always like kind of pushing Hastings and being like, hello, don't you see it? Come on, you can do it, you can do it. And poor Hastings is like, I'm not a detective, I'm just along for the ride. Anyway, and he very much gets distracted by some cute girlies. There's cute girlies in this one. All right, so we got another item to enjoy as we go along from Tea Pigs. We got a cold brew. So these are little tea sachets, but it's actually for iced tea. So I feel like this is just kind of like a nod to summer because it is blackcurrant raspberry is the flavor. Delish. Again, I don't remember any like raspberry or blackberry or blackcurrant bushes or foods or any of that. I just don't remember them eating. I remember them going to different hotels because they've gone to Paris. So what happens is basically he gets a letter from Mr. Renault saying, hey, I'm kind of freaked out. I need you to come and see what's going on. And just as they're driving up, they're driving through and someone's like, oh, well, he got murdered last night. And he's like, oh, I'm too late. And then they start trying to figure it out, and then they're like, oh no, there's another murder. I think while Poirot is off doing something, and Hastings is like at a hotel, maybe having a meal. And they come over and they're like, but haven't you heard? There has been another murder. And then it's like this unknown man, just like who has hands that have obviously been working hard, and so they have to figure out who that is. It does make sense, I promise. It does make sense. Of course, they unravel everything for us at the end. I thought this was a cool gift. This doesn't have anything to do with the book so much as just a sort of homage to Ms. Christie. It's a whole huge postcard set of Agatha Christie classic book covers, and there are 100 of them, and I love that they made it look like a book, right? And it's this nice box. So you could definitely use this for other things. You could decoupage it afterwards, but why would you when you have such lovely things? I love all these, like, we're getting a lot of boxes that are meant to look like books where you can store it on your shelf. Oops. That's what happens, you guys. Sorry, don't store it upside down like that. Store it right side up. It'll look a lot cooler. But look at this, and then inside it's kind of neat. They put a ribbon in there so that it's easy to lift up and get all of those items out. So there are so many. They do have a nice weight to them. They're nice and glossy. We did read this one with the Literary Book Club. And on the back, they just have your classic postcard sort of format. It does tell us that it's for the book and what year that particular cover edition was published. So that one was 1920. We have The Secret Adversary. Let's just see. We have Ordeal by Innocence, The Peril at End House, some classics. Cat Among the Pigeons. I don't know that I know that one. Thank goodness there's so many. So I love having like an Austen book and an Agatha Christie book every year. So A Murder is Announced. There's some titles I've never heard of. Curtain, Poirot's Last Case. That is not the most exciting of postcards, but we will accept it. But postcards are always great. I don't send very many postcards these days, but I would use them as like note cards in gifts. Or just if you were penning a note to someone that deserve to be saved, or you could do a whole collage on your wall. That would be something I could see like a college student doing. That's what I did when I was a college student. I was just thinking about it. I went and got a lot of arty postcards, and then I did them as like a grid on my wall, and I thought it was very cool, but also very cheap decorating. So this was a really cool item to include with an Agatha Christie book, but not necessarily one of those things that like brings the whole vibe of the murder mystery to life. Then we got After Dinner Amusements Mini Mysteries. So this is kind of cute because it looks like a mint tin. Get it? Amusements. So this is 50 riddles for super sleuths. Again, not necessarily directly related to the book, but kind of a fun little thing to have. So I haven't opened it up, but this seems like a great thing to have on your coffee table, or if you are someone that carries a giant purse, I could also see that being really fun to just have in your purse when you're trying to have a nice dinner, but maybe you just need some other topic of conversation. I'm usually pretty bad at these kinds of riddles. I pride myself that I think that I'm pretty good, especially with like these days, just because there are so many thrillers out there. Some of them tend to be a little bit more predictable than others. So that's why, like, that's one of my, if a thriller keeps me from figuring it out for the first 2/3, usually you kind of figure it out around then. But if it keeps it a secret or twists and turns enough that it keeps me on my heels, for me, that's like already got 4 stars, if not 5. You know, then I might not like the style or whatever. But these little riddles, sometimes I see them on social media and I'm like, I don't know. But how fun. So let's see, for example, here's one. And it's kind of set up like, you know, it's got a little story and then the answer is written upside down in the teal. A young woman brings 2 decaying items on her date, which her date thinks is very romantic. They enjoy them so much that by the end of the date, the items are gone. What are the rotted items? Well, I would assume one is cheese, right? Because cheese is mostly mold. And let's see, 2 decaying items. I mean, honestly, it's just like we're all dying, so like any food is decaying, is it not? Probably wine and cheese, right? Because it's like fermented, even though that preserves it, so maybe not. Maybe it's just 2 kinds of cheese. Let's see. Answer. They're wine and cheese. Okay. Maybe I'm not so bad at it. Let's see. I'm going to leave this one unanswered and you guys can put your answers in the comments below. A man has a bird he ignores. He doesn't feed it or play with it, but sometimes he listens to its chirping. The bird flies out, but never tries to escape. Why does the bird always come back to its home? Okay. All right. You guys let me know the answer in the comments below. Let's have a secret password too. Remember, answer to that riddle in the comments below. Secret password only in the form that's linked in the description box. So today's secret password is going to be golf, because I was looking for a little more like golf stuff in the box curation, because it was the murder on the links. And I thought for some reason that would be like more significant. It turns out that, like, you know, they're still building it, so then that's where the body's found, because they're still building it. So maybe they're like digging some sand pits and sand traps and all that stuff. But anyway, golf is today's secret password. When you come across a secret password in one of my videos, you want to enter it along with your contact information in the Google form linked for you in the description box below. You have to be 18 years or older. You have to have a US or Canadian mailing address. I think this might be the last month that I offer to ship to Canada, just because it is getting rather expensive on both ends. I don't want you Canadian friends to have to pay extra, but you can always enter and choose to get a gift card instead. You do have to be subscribed to my channel, which I can verify with you via email, essentially 5 days into the following month, so around October 5th. I'll use a random number picker to select a few winners to receive mystery boxes as my way of saying thank you for watching my videos. And it's just my way of sharing all of the wealth that I have. I don't have as many boxes these days, but I still like to send out quite a few mystery boxes. There's anywhere from like 8 to 12 secret passwords every month, and I send out anywhere from like 2 to 10 mystery boxes every month, just depending on what I've got in store and also my time, like what I have time for. So today's secret password is golf, because we had a murder on the links. Then this was an interesting item. So this is from Earth Harbor, which we love this brand. We know this brand from subscription boxes, and we love this brand. It's Beach Waves. It's an ocean hair texturizer. I don't have mermaid hair, and I do care. So I don't have those beachy waves that just look tousled and you get the texture. Like for me, that's like when I go to the beach and I come home, I need to wash my hair immediately, because it doesn't look good. It looks like I have a head full of seaweed. So this is probably something that will like make it into a mystery box, because I'll share. But I'm just confused. Great item. These are usually like $50 value in a $65 box, where we already got this gorgeous edition of, you know, great value in this box. I don't get why we got beach waves. I didn't find it particularly beachy. So this was a weird item to me. But if any of you can remind me, you'll be like, yeah, they were on the beach for this. And I'll be like, oh yeah. So again, it's been a couple it's been a little bit of time since I finished the book and before I went to the box. So if you can explain to me why we got ocean hair texturizer, please do. But that was all of the items in our box. So we got our swag bag with our book plate and our beautiful bookmark and a fun sticker. We got our Yes bar and our cold brew tea sachets. We got 2 just Agatha Christie fun things, that big box of beautiful classic book covers. I would love that for just like all classics, not just Agatha Christie ones. I think that would be fun. We got our Beach Waves Earth Harbor hair texturizer, which I don't fully understand. And then this is what probably honestly my favorite item, just to, like, I love little like games like this. But be sure to enter your answer to that bird riddle in the comments below. Be sure to enter the secret password giveaway. And I will see you all very, very soon in my next unboxing.